Shut up and sit down.
Hi, welcome to Split Decision Boxing. My name is Ray Peck. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the press conference that just finished in London for the Anthony Joshua fight versus Jarrell Big Baby Miller. I hope you like this video. If you do like it, please subscribe, please give it the thumbs up, and please leave a comment. Okay, so it's literally finished 5-10 minutes ago. It was a complete contrast to the press conference that they had in New York last week, insofar as there wasn't really any fireworks. There wasn't anything that was controversial that came out. Both men sat there very well behaved. In fact, it was eventful by the fact that it was almost a non-event. Just to give you a brief overview of what happened there. Dimitri Salita, who is in the Miller camp, just basically said that opposite forces are coming together in the ring on June the 1st, and that both guys are big, athletic. He made a point of saying that at the moment, Anthony Joshua is the best heavyweight fighter in the world, and he will be up until May the 31st, obviously indicating there that come June the 1st, he believes that Jarrell Miller will be the new champion. Rob McCracken, obviously from AJ's camp, said that Jarrell Miller is a good challenger. He said, but you have to remember, that who the world champion is. He made a point, interestingly enough, of saying that what his vision for AJ is to have 3 or 4 years as an undisputed champion. So at some point, obviously, you can take from that they want to get it on with Deontay Wilder. Whether that happens, I don't know. Or, of course, whoever holds that vacant WBC belt, if it becomes vacant at any time. And then he said he's advised AJ to move on to something else. He said that it's a myth that AJ has had everything come to him and put on a plate for him, and he made reference to the early days when AJ was fighting in Russia, for example, and he was fighting guys in a very small ring, and he had no experience and was still beating them and knocking them out. And he said, I saw then something that you don't see in others. He referred to Jarrell Miller, said Miller's got a good IQ in boxing. He's got a good pedigree, good IQ, but he's stepping up to another level, and it's something that he doesn't think Miller will be prepared for. Now, just looking at them, they were both very relaxed. There didn't seem to be any of the bad blood and the explosiveness that came out in the New York press conference. Jarrell Miller actually said he felt happier on this occasion. He said that he doesn't really need to say any more. He said what he had to say back in New York. He said that he can't wait for June the 1st. He did, there was a few snipes. He said AJ and he's too posh, and his fans are now beginning to feel that he's too posh, and he walks around with his nose up in the air. I don't buy into that personally, and I don't know how you guys feel about that. He said he doesn't need to think about the fight anymore. He just needs to get it done. And predicted that he's going to win. He's going to be world champion. And then he wants to be an ambassador to the human race. That was, he went on for a few minutes about being an ambassador to the human race, about how to live your life, how to face adversities, in your adversities in your life and get on with life, which is great, but it's not what we were really here for. AJ said that he loved New York when he was there. He gave it 10 out of 10. He said, but he loves the UK. He referred to the fact that this fight is going to be a battle of the fittest and the smartest, and it will be the last man standing. And in his opinion, come June the 2nd, Jarrell Miller will be irrelevant. He showed his hands. He showed the scars on his hand. He was trying to make a point about his own upbringing. He referenced the fact that he was on the wrong path and on a path possibly to prison, to jail, and then he got banned from his hometown and had to leave, etc., etc. He showed his hands and showed the scars on his hands. As these are from street fighting; they're not from boxing. And he said that he realised he had to change his lifestyle to avoid jail. He said that they started to get a little bit fiery when he said he was going to reconstruct Jarrell Miller's face and body on June the 1st. It's quite a bold statement to make, but I guess it's boxing talk. He said he was the landlord in the States, and now he will be the surgeon in the USA. And he said he guarantees 100% that he will knock Jarrell Miller clean out. In response, Jarrell Miller made a few snoring noises and as if he was bored, etc., etc. He said, despite all the fans you've got, everything else, your fans can't fight for you. He said, AJ's a sucker and he looks like Scooby-Doo. So that was about as much as you got. And at that point, the press conference was closed. Eddie Hearn made reference that he's got a major announcement coming up in the next couple of weeks, which should be fun. I think he referenced something to do with a bill which has all Irish and English fighters, Irish on one side, English on the other. So that would be pretty exciting. But it was, as I say, it was non-eventful. Even the face-off, which I thought could get a little bit tasty, didn't. They literally were nose to nose, chin to chin, chest to chest for 30 seconds, and then they were apart. And they went their separate ways. I did stay tuned. There was a brief interview with AJ afterwards, off the stage. Interestingly, AJ said that he feels the nerves more at home. He said that the hairs on his neck were standing up. But he didn't feel those nerves in New York, which is why he's looking forward, I guess, to going and fighting in America. He said that Jarrell Miller has shown him no respect. He said, but I don't want his respect. He said, he's not into all this shaking hands afterwards, kissing and making up at the end of the fight. He said, you disrespect me now, you disrespect me for a lifetime. Strong words. Interestingly, closing fact, this fight in Madison Square Garden, which has hosted some of the all-time classic fights the world has ever seen, some of the greats have fought there. This fight has the fastest pre-fight sales of tickets at Madison Square that there has ever been. Now, I'm not claiming that that's a record because of the high profile of this fight. I've made my views clear on what I think of this fight in previous videos. I think that probably comes down to you've got internet sales now. You've got probably big media companies and other companies buying to sell tickets. So it's a different marketplace now than it was then. But anyway, so that's it. Nothing really to report on this press conference. It wasn't the fireworks that we were all expecting. But anyway, I hope you found this informative. I hope you liked this video. Please like, please subscribe. The tab will come up at the end of the credits. And please give it the thumbs up and please share it and please comment. Thank you very much. My name's Ray Peck. This has been Split Decision Boxing.
Shut up and sit down.